My name is Jenny Anglin, and I work at the Simon Law Group. We are a personal injury law firm. We specialize in handling cases all the way from inception to trial. Here at the Simon Law Group, I work as a managing attorney. So what that means is I'm going to be usually working on a case from the very beginning, sometimes before we even file, all the way up until just before trial when it's ready to go to the trial team. The Ronald Mitchell case was a challenge because it was a very difficult liability scenario. Our client was on a motorcycle and he was lane sharing, which is legal to do in California. Behind the liability battle, we had one of the most likable clients I've ever worked with. We were really committed to getting him the most we could. And the reason we needed to do that is he had suffered a really serious injury to his left leg in this crash. It was so serious that the initial reports from the surgeon at the hospital was that this was a salvaged amputation. And the photos really demonstrated that. It's amazing that he didn't lose his lower leg at all. And he was essentially bedridden for a year, did not work for a year, but then ultimately made a great recovery. So when you have a client who thankfully makes a really good recovery, sometimes you need to be able to remind the defense or their carrier and the jury that it took a lot of work to get this person back to where they are. What we wanted to do was to get a surgical animation from DK Global so that we could actually provide that to defense prior to mediation in hopes of getting the best number on the case. What we did is we gave DK Global the operative reports, the films and images, and photographs as well. And to be honest, it was really easy after that because DK just took over at that point. Next thing I knew, we had a surgical animation that was very visually captivating and medically accurate, which is incredibly important because if we're going to get this in front of a jury, we need to make sure it's accurate. And it basically put a bow on everything and showed in a couple of minutes all the procedures that Mr. Mitchell had over the course of that year. Because without that, people would have had to rely on looking at an operative report or maybe having a surgeon testify. But this video, it was perfect because it showed just how graphic and invasive all the procedures were that he had to have. So we were able to bring that to mediation and actually provide it to defense prior to mediation. The case did ultimately resolve to everyone's satisfaction. The thing I liked best about working with DK Global is it was just so easy. I've worked with other companies in the past for animations for trial, and it felt like it required a little more work from me on the front end. But when I was working with DK Global on these cases, it just seemed like they did almost all of the heavy lifting. They delivered on time, actually ahead of schedule, and within the budget, and really quality animation that I feel like potentially added a lot of value to our case.